Niue's delegation to the Healthy Islands Through Sports Forum last week have returned with high hopes to strengthen and formalize partnerships, taking a more multi-sectoral approach to addressing the non-communicable diseases crisis in the Pacific. Representatives from the health and sports ministries in the region met for 3 days in Brisbane to discuss collaborative actions to address risk factors that cause NCDs. We spoke with one of the health representatives in Niue's delegation about that meeting.
The main focus of that meeting is to try and find a way in which the Department of Health and the Department of Sports, or the Ministry of Sports in each country, that would develop a partnership to support physical activity programs in each country. So we all know that NCD is now declared a crisis in the Pacific, and 75% of the total deaths in the Pacific is from non-communicable diseases. Hence the reason why there was a need for ministries of health to find other alternative ways of trying to reduce the number of NCDs in the Pacific today. What we did while we were still in Brisbane was we sat in the group that we went in. There were two representatives from health and two from sports. So we already had a draft memorandum of understanding that we drafted in Brisbane and brought back with us. So what we have left to do is to go back to each of our departments and discuss with our committees of what sort of initiatives that we can initiate through that partnership, how health can help sports and how sports can help us. I think we decided also at that time and also identified the barriers or the limitations and difficulties that we're going to have in that partnership. So what health wanted to do is to maybe use some of the sports people, maybe the role models, to market in terms of social marketing, to market some of our health campaigns, either it be smoke-free campaigns or eat healthy campaigns, and to reduce alcohol reduction, but most importantly, to use sports models to try and encourage people to exercise. The main focus also of their meeting was to try and engage the people at grassroots level, those who have not yet participated or taken part in sports, to try and encourage them to do some form of physical activity for health purposes.
Incorporating healthy living concepts into sports, taking a whole-of-community approach right down to the grassroots level will hopefully improve the health status of the island's population and decrease the number of those affected by non-communicable diseases. The desire is for strengthening of partnerships, but there are also challenges ahead.
Health and sports have a challenge ahead of us in terms of that partnership. So if we agree on the memorandum of understanding, we need also to bear in mind that we have committed ourselves to actually doing something for the benefit of our people. So once we've had our MOU in place, we will hope to get the full commitment from sports in support of our programs. Either it be skilled personnel, people who can run training programs for us in terms of for them to take leadership roles out in the communities, training of the trainers. Say, for example, if we're going to conduct aerobics program, we would need somebody from sports to help us to train representations from the community aerobics, so that they will go back out into the community and then teach the other members of the community, or take the leadership role of actually carrying out those aerobics programs out in the communities. In terms of targeting children, we'd also like, because sports already has that link in place with Tamamana Sports, so we'd like to use that link that sports already have to maybe support some of the programs that are already in place in the schools in terms of physical activity and encouraging our kids to exercise. But in regards to those who have already have NCDs, we are hoping to get somebody from overseas, maybe somebody from Heart Moves, from one of the programs that Australia is running at the moment, to come and actually train some of our people in country to help those who already have NCDs in their villages.
The forum was supported by the World Health Organization, Secretariat of the Pacific Community, as well as the governments of Australia and New Zealand. Tongans worldwide paid their last respects to their king, who was laid to rest in Tongatapu yesterday. The late King George Tupou V was entombed after he died a week ago. Thousands of Tongans joined for the burial ceremony that included several foreign dignitaries, including a large New Zealand delegation, and attending on behalf of Niue was the Honourable Premier Toke Talangi and Peleni Talangi. While the procession from the palace to the royal tombs in Malaikula progressed, Niue's Tongan community also held a special service at the Catholic Church yesterday to pay their respects to their king. Some who have made Niue home say that although they live miles away from the kingdom, they remain loyal to the monarchy, and also praise Tupou V for his vision and drive for change from monarchical rule to democracy. In more royal tradition, on Saturday, Tonga will invest their new king, King Tupou VI, as the monarch in a special cover ceremony. Hunters have been given a reprieve with an extension to the shooting season for pigeons and bats. The shooting season was meant to officially finish at the end of January, but it appears many have ignored the warnings. Cabinet is the authority that sets the period for shooting, but it seems 2 months was not long enough, raising concerns from Environment and Niue Police, highlighting the need for laws to be enforced.
I was alarmed when I came back to see large numbers of people out shooting. I presumed incorrectly that the shooting season was still active. In fact, the shooting season has been closed for some months. Rather than come in with a draconian ruling simply saying that shooting is to stop immediately, I have consulted with the Environment Department on it, and we have agreement that the shooting season could be extended across till the 31st of March. I've made an approach to Cabinet in relation to that. Cabinet have agreed with my thinking on it. So the current shooting season for Lupe will terminate on the 31st of March. And after that, enforcement will take place in relation to unlawful shooting of the birds. So I want to get the message out to people that your shooting season has extended, but please do not go beyond the 31st of March, otherwise there could well be a consequence for that. In addition to that, the Environment Department have arranged for a couple of people to come from New Zealand to assist in a stocktake of Lupe, just to see what the numbers are like and what further effort both police and environment can make to conserve the numbers of Lupe for future generations of Niueans.
The message now is that if anyone is found shooting pigeons or bats after the 31st of March, they will be at risk of losing a firearm, any ammunition and birds in their possession, as well as facing fines. Last night, the opening of the Pacific Media Summit in Pacific Harbour, Fiji, with remarks from the leader of Fiji, Commodore Vorege Bainimarama, that the media must enhance its credibility and reduce the intimidation it reflects on public views. Pacific journalists were given a stern message from Father Lamani and Commodore Bainimarama to the writers that quantity reflects in the quality of news, and all parties must help in building a healthy Pacific media. There must be integrity in stories for the public to trust the media. There was also a reminder from journalists that freedom of the news must be freely available. Other veteran journalists commented there remains the message that news and information must have no factual errors, and if so, prominence should be given to the correction, the same of that given to the initial story. Media self-regulating is failing and must change in order for the public to continue its trust in information received. With a summary of a Prosperity Pacific media, there is encouragement on best practices that must always be adhered to. The opening of the summit brought many representatives from the Pacific, including the host country, and concluded with entertainment from local youth groups depicting topics covered in some of the discussions at the beginning of the week, And that story was from Monainu'u in Pacific Harbour, Fiji Islands. Locals were relieved to see the MV Forum Pacific near port this morning, as store shelves have been looking bare for a few weeks, with some shops running out of noodles, crackers, flour and other necessities. According to reef shipping agent Falani Mukoia, the Forum Pacific was delayed by a day due to the rough conditions at sea that are beyond their control. In addition to that, the stevedore at the wharf operations had reservations for worker safety, and work to offload cargo commenced this morning as conditions calmed down. Despite the delay, work at the ports appear to be progressing well, and people will have to be a little more patient before shelves are fully stocked in the next few days. That concludes our news bulletin for tonight. We do hope that you can join us again for our next news bulletin on Thursday.